Now we're going to go in and put some generic casework back in here. Oftentimes you don't know exactly what you're going to need, but I've given you on the Canvas modules, if we go to the course modules, there's some generic casework zip, and that's what I'm going to be using for this. So you'll need to download it and unzip it and put it in your custom library under casework. And I'm going to be using that just to put some quick casework along the back here. So I'll say that I want like a foot deep bit of casework back here, and then we'll just place that in. So I'm going to put this in as a family. You could just draw a bar that was a foot deep and just bring it up to however high you want it, but there is a casework component that you can use, and so I'm going to show you. I've given you some generic ones. So I'm just going to go to the insert and load family, and I'm going to go to my custom library here, and I'm going to go to casework, and in here I have flat front generic white, an upper and a lower. So this is like a base cabinet that's very generic and not doesn't have materials or divisions or anything, just sort of a placeholder for your casework. So I'm just going to click that and go to open. And it's going to upgrade it. I made it a while ago, and so it upgrades it and brings it into the project. If you want to see it, oh, it's already here, but oh, look at that, I already had it here. Good for me. So I'll overwrite the existing version. And if you want to see where this guy comes in under the casework, you'll have the base flat front generic white instance, and the 12-inch here is what we want to use because we want it to be 12 inches deep. And all you need to do is either come over to your families and drag it in, or the other option is to go to the architecture and component, not the component model in place, but the component, and then go to the type selector and search for, we can just do generic, I think it would come up. There it is. Base flat front generic 12-inch, right? So it's the same thing in both. I tend to use the project browser, but you could use this guy. I'll click on this, and if I come over to my plan view, it will bring it out, and I can kind of hit the space bar, right? And it'll rotate it around, right? So the it's basically 2 foot deep by 12-inch wide, and we want to change that, but we're going to go ahead and place it in. The cursor comes in on the back of the cabinet, so you kind of just want to left click and click that guy into the back so it's sitting on the back. And then it gives you these little pull options, and you'll be able to see it appear over here in just a minute. I'm just going to pull it kind of to here, right? And again, I'm not going to worry that it's not exact at this point, and I'll pull it over maybe to the edge of the outside of that wall, right? And you can see it creating that guy, and then I can come in and I can pick this and I can just pull it back to there, right? So now what I've got is just a little piece of kind of casework there. Now it's not exact over in the corner, and I'm not going to worry about that yet. I'm just trying to get everything in. And then let's go ahead and delete this reference plane we put in there, so we don't really need it anymore. And this is not in this family, right? This is a separate family just in the project. And then I could go in and create a countertop for this guy. So you can either load one or create one yourself. So let's go ahead and create one ourselves. Again, it's the same process: architecture, component, model in place, and I'm going to go to casework and click OK, and I'll put this as back wall bar top. Okay, it sends me into that mode again, and I can come in and do my extrusion and kind of pick that guy, that guy, that guy, and then maybe I want to draw this one in. You know, maybe we do use just regular cabinets, but the countertop gets customized to where it fits snugly up against the wall, right? And so again, this one you can set to whatever the top of that cabinet is, which I'm not really sure what it is. I bet the extrusion in will be 3 foot, and my guess is 2 foot 10.5. I don't know why, but I think that's what I set it to originally a million years ago. And then if I hit check, oh, it's yelling at me because I don't have have intersecting lines, so it will highlight these intersecting lines. And I have to come in and kind of figure out, oh, there it is. See, like an overlap. So if I get rid of that and then hit the check again, it will bring that countertop in, right? And if I click off of it, you can kind of see it sitting here, right? And so you see we have the a little material by category there, and I can kind of drag this guy out a little bit if I want it to overlap. And then we can start to look at the distances that exist. Maybe it does go flush front with these. Here, you're going to have to start working on, like, okay, is this enough? Like, how big is that? Is that big enough? It's 2'9", so technically, 2'8" for access. And then another thing you're going to have to think about with the bar is ADA. So is the end of this bar, does it drop and you have a separate bar at the end for ADA access, or however that works. So let me go ahead and finish this guy, and I'll pick that, and let's edit in place, and I'll pick this guy, and let's go ahead and put that material parameter on it, and we'll make it an instance so it comes up in the properties dialog box. Click OK, click OK, and finish the model, and then I can pick that and put a material on it. Maybe it gets the blue. Let's go to graphics and click OK. So maybe that's a little bit blue in the back. Now, the pull arrows are not super accurate, right? Like if I pull that, I'm not really getting a readout on how big that is. If you want it to be exact, you're going to have to do the edit in place, pick that guy, edit the extrusion, and then you'll start to get distances. And you can, like if you wanted that to be exactly 1 inch or maybe 2-inch overlap, you would have to come in and adjust it. Whoop, 2 feet, 2 inch. Right, and adjust that, and then hit the check, and now you've kind of got that guy working, right? So let's finish that, and I think that's enough for now, just to give you an idea of a really basic bar. The next thing I'll take a look at is bringing something from Rhino into Revit and looking at how that might work. And we might do something a little bit more complex, like a sweep or something like that. Okay.